When you are in a relationship, conflict or misunderstanding or disagreement is bound to happen. Your partner is going to get on your nerves more times than you want him to. And when that happens, your first thought may be, I should exit this relationship. Here's where I want to stop you. Do not be in a haste. Honestly, guys, every relationship is tough, but there are things that you can do to manage your conflict. There are things that you can do to prevent the conflict from even taking place in the first place. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 10 ways you can manage conflict in a relationship. I am Emmanuel Smarth. I make videos about relationship. If that is something that is interesting to you, then kindly consider subscribing to this channel. Let's get into the video. The first thing to do in order to effectively manage a conflict is to stay quiet. Let me explain. You see, guys, during an argument, if you observe that your partner is really upset and he's trying to explain the reason why he's upset, it is wise for you to remain quiet. The unwise thing to do is for you to tell your partner that he's wrong or for you to try to be defensive. Here's why it is important that you stay quiet. Number one, it gives you an opportunity to listen to the words and the emotions that your partner is, releasing out. Number two, it also provides you with a huge opportunity to see things and to understand things from his point of view. If you can understand things from another person's point of view, there's a great chance that you might be able to resolve the conflict. During a conflict, the first words that should come out of your mouth is, I'm sorry, it was never my intention to hurt you. Now, I know this sounds strange, and some of you might be saying, Emmanuel, why am I apologizing if I did nothing wrong? Why am I saying I'm sorry if it was never my fault? I need you to pay close attention. You see, when you are in a relationship, you apologize not because you're right or wrong. You apologize because your action may have intentionally or inadvertently affected or hurt the person that you love. Remember that relationship is not a competition. What is more important in a relationship is love, is understanding, is ensuring that the next person is happy. So when you apologize, the goal of this is to de-escalate the conflict from turning into something that will affect your relationship greatly. Honestly, guys, in a perfect world, just by saying that you're sorry could end a conflict, but that is not always the case. So here's what you do. There are situations where your partner would need more from you than just, I'm sorry. So when that happens, what you need to do first is observe the situation, observe the environment, and then ask your partner, can I speak freely without any interruption? If he or she gives you the go-ahead, then do so. In order to prevent a conflict from escalating, you have to explain yourself, but you have to do it in a more polite manner. Here's what you want to do. Refrain from accusing, refrain from blaming, refrain from being defensive. So the importance of being polite is because it always diffuses the tension in the room. For example, if you stay out late and you forget to call your partner and she's upset or he's upset, here's what you can say. Say to the person that I'm sorry that I stay out late. It was never my intention to hurt you. I understand that I should have done a better job by calling you, but I did not. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. When you explain yourself in this manner, when you take out the angry tune, when you take out the blame tune and you're just honest and genuine with your person or with your partner, they're going to be more inclined to forgive you. If you want to effectively manage a conflict in your relationship, then you have to refrain from insults. Now, I understand some people jokingly insult one another. That's fine. But if you're going to use words that's going to hurt your partner's feeling, then you have to refrain from that altogether. It is a good practice to let your partner know that you're upset. If you need time to be alone, but do not insult your partner. I don't know how people even find that to be cute or find that to be adorable by insulting one another. Here's what insult does. It invites a lot of toxic elements into the relationship. And when that happens, it's almost like you're pouring more gas to the fire. So don't insult your partner, refrain from insulting them, and your relationship could stand a better chance at overcoming that conflict. Another way you can effectively manage a conflict in the relationship is to control your anger. Now, I know that sometimes, anger are uncontrollable, especially when they bust out of us unexpectedly. But we've got to learn to put that in check. We've got to learn to control the anger that comes out of us. One way you can do that is to remember or to focus on the reason why you love your partner. Sometimes when your partner does something that really upsets you, you tend to see them as the devil. You tend to see them as the worst person on the face of this earth. It is important that you at least try and remember that I love this person. I'm just upset at this person. And if I control my anger, we'll find a way to resolve the matter. These points that I just made are best case scenario, but we have to be realistic because things do not always play out in this manner. There are times where you're upset as a result of cheating, jealousy, lying, or something else, and that can cause you to be angry beyond control. And in that situation, I would advise not to engage with your partner. Here's what I would recommend. If the relationship ever gets to a point where your partner is shouting beyond control or is threatening to harm you, walk away. Get out of there as soon as possible. You're walking out of there because you don't want to do something that you might regret, or you don't want your partner to do something to you that will cause you a great harm. You don't want that to happen. Now, the reason why you walk away is because you're going to give yourself some time to cool off, and you're also going to give your partner some time for him to cool off. Later on, you two can engage. There's a mentality that I want people to change, and that is relationship is never about winning. It is not a competition. The sooner that you can understand that, the better off your relationship will be. And also, two angry people cannot have a sound conversation. So just walk away. Another effective mechanism that can be put in place when it comes to managing a conflict is address the issue. I don't know how some people do this sometimes. When they find out that they're wrong, instead of saying they're sorry, or instead of being honest and just taking the blame, what do? They dig some sort of hole and then cover the issue and pretend like it never happened. The problem with this is that it's just a matter of time. When a similar issue arises or when a conflict happens, those old issues are going to be brought back again. So that is why it is important that you address things once and for all. When you address things, they prevent future conflict from escalating. I've always found compromise to be the best conflict management styles, and that is because it comprises of 4 key elements that I think are very essential to the survival of any relationship. Those 4 elements are: 1, communication. It is very much important that we can communicate with each other without any interruption, without any insult or any sort of barrier. Number 2, it involves listening, because if someone is going to communicate to you or with you, you have to listen to them attentively. Number 3, it involves reviewing our options. So we try and figure out what the problem is. And then, of course, number 4 is about coming up with a win-win solution. We come up with something that will make me happy, but will also make you happy. You see, in every relationship, pride and ego are going to show their ugly faces, and we have to find a way to satisfy one person's ego at the same time satisfying the other person's ego. So it's very much important that we reach a decision where both parties are happy. For example, if you are in a relationship and your partner wants you to call them 10 times a day, but you are so busy and you're working, you can't call them 10 times a day, tell them, I'm sorry, love, but I'm very busy and I know that you're busy as well. How about I call you 5 times? And then you two can go back and forth, and I'm sure you reach a number. At least at the end of the day, you're calling your partner, and that is what they want. And at the same time, you're calling them, but you're not calling them excessively. So this is just a very random example. The point is, in every relationship, you have to find a way to compromise. That is a way that this relationship can survive conflict. It can survive whatever is being thrown at it. And finally, the key surviving element to every conflict is forgiveness. You have to at least put that at the back of your mind. Now, it doesn't matter how many times your partner apologizes. It doesn't matter how many times you compromise. The fact of the matter is they are always going to step on your toe. It might take a very long time before they eventually stop doing that one thing that annoys you the most. So you have to learn to forgive. It is important that you forgive your partner because sometimes they're going to hurt you without even knowing it, and sometimes you are going to hurt them as well. So forgiveness goes both ways. It's like you're saying, I'm trading my anger for peace of mind. I'm trading my frustration. I'm trading that toxic element within me for a peace of mind. So I think it's important that you understand this. If you want your relationship to survive, you have to be willing to forgive your partner more times than you even want to. Okay, so I think this wrap up this video. I hope all this point that I've shared with you are going to be instrumental in your own relationship, and they're going to help you to manage conflict effectively in your relationship. Now, here's what I need you to do for me. Tell me which of these points you find to be most effective. Tell me which one you have been using in your relationship, or tell me some of the conflict that you face in your relationship, and see if one of those things that I talk about can actually help you, or we can talk about it more in the comment section. Again, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. I would really appreciate it if you can like, share this video with friends and family, and give me a like. That way YouTube can recommend this video to more people. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.